Welcome to the Rise Up podcast, where we dive into ideas and stories to help you grow, learn, and find the strength to keep moving forward. In today's episode, we're exploring the difference between chasing perfection and simply aiming to be better than you were yesterday. It's about small steps, real progress, and learning to celebrate the little victories along the way. And as always, we've prepared a PDF transcript of this episode for anyone who might find it helpful. You can find the link in the description below. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's talk about what it really means to rise up in life, one step at a time. You know, we often hear phrases like be your best self or live your best life, don't we? And at first they sound super inspiring, but if you really think about it, they can sometimes pile on the pressure and make you feel like you're constantly falling short. Here's the truth. Chasing the best version of yourself all the time? It's exhausting. Instead, what if we just focused on being better than we were yesterday? That little shift in thinking could change everything. Let's talk about it. Imagine you're in a tough spot. Like, maybe you've been looking for a job for months, sending out application after application, and still, your phone stays silent. It's rough, isn't it? And then, out of nowhere, someone chirps up with, "Why don't you just live your best life and make it happen already?" Ugh. That stings. Sure, they mean well, but it's not helpful. What they don't see is how hard you're trying. It's not like you can just flip a switch and land your dream job. Life doesn't work that way. Here's the thing. No one goes from struggling to thriving in one giant leap. Real progress happens in small, steady steps. So maybe in the middle of all that frustration, you pick up a book. Maybe you read a chapter or even just a page. Is that going to solve all your problems overnight? Nope. But it's something. It's a small act of moving forward. And honestly, that's what being better is about. You see, when we focus on being better instead of the best, it's like giving ourselves permission to breathe. Let's say you've always wanted to get into shape. One day, instead of running a marathon, you take a 10-minute walk. Does that make you a fitness guru? Of course not. But it's better than sitting on the couch, right? And that's the point. Little by little, those small choices add up. They build momentum. Before you know it, you're doing things you never thought you could. Now, here's something important. We've got to be kinder to ourselves. Seriously. Being hard on yourself for not being perfect is like trying to climb a hill with a backpack full of bricks. It's just weighing you down. Instead, why not celebrate the little wins? You drank an extra glass of water today? Awesome. You remembered to stretch before bed? Go you. Those things might seem tiny, but they matter. And when you start appreciating your own progress, something magical happens. You'll notice yourself becoming more understanding of other people too. Like, maybe you'll see someone struggling, and instead of thinking, why aren't they trying harder? You'll think, hey, they're doing the best they can right now. That kind of compassion is contagious. It makes the world a better place for everyone. You know what life is really like? It's like planting a tree. If you plant an oak, it's going to take years to grow tall and strong. But when it does, it'll be solid, unshakable. Compare that to a weed. It sprouts up overnight, but doesn't last. True growth takes time. It's not always fast, and it's definitely not easy, but it's worth it. So here's an idea. Instead of aiming for best all the time, what if you just asked yourself, what can I do to be a little better today? Maybe that means texting a friend you haven't talked to in a while. Maybe it's cleaning up your desk so you feel a bit more organized. Or maybe it's just getting out of bed when everything in you wants to stay under the covers. These might not seem like game changers, but they are. Because those tiny actions add up over time. And look, living better doesn't mean you've got it all figured out. It's about taking things one step at a time. Some days, the best you can do is just show up. And that's okay. It's okay to have days where your progress feels microscopic. What matters is that you're moving forward, even if it's just an inch at a time. Think about it like this. If yesterday you were at 1 and today you're at 1.5, you've improved by 50%. That's huge. Sure, you might not be at a 10 yet, but who cares? Celebrate that 1.5. Be proud of it. It's a sign you're growing. And if you can appreciate those small wins, you'll find yourself building the kind of resilience that keeps you going no matter what life throws your way. This mindset isn't just about achieving goals. It's about how you live your life day to day. It's about finding joy in the process and giving yourself the grace to stumble, learn, and keep going. And when you approach life this way, something incredible happens. You realize that living better, even in the tiniest ways, is what makes life rich and meaningful. So, the next time you feel like you're not doing enough or being enough, take a deep breath and remind yourself, it's not about being the best, it's about being better. One step, one choice, one day at a time. And before you know it, those small steps will take you further than you ever imagined. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Rise Up podcast. Remember, it's not about being the best, it's about being better. Whether it's a small win, a tiny step forward, or just showing up when it's hard, every bit of progress matters. If you'd like to revisit today's episode, don't forget the PDF transcript is available in the description. Feel free to download it and reflect on the ideas we've shared. Until next time, keep rising, keep growing, and keep striving to be better than yesterday. You've got this.